Hey, is the tweet insider trading? How about a Truth Social post? Because apparently, to the Democrats, it sure is. That's right, the gay, woke, purple-haired mind virus mob, they're accusing Trump and his friends of doing insider trading just because he announced a bunch of insane tariffs, crashed the stock market, then posted on his own social media platform, God forbid, now's a great time to buy. It could have meant anything, and then stocks just happened to shoot up minutes before he announced that the market-crashing tariffs were paused for 90 days. I mean, God forbid a boy have hobbies, but I don't think that's insider trading at all. I think it's something a lot worse and a lot stupider. The tariffs, in case you're not paying attention, which also, if you're not paying attention, congrats, and maybe like and subscribe, because like my videos might kind of be bummers, but at least they're marginally better than like doom scrolling, because at least I'm hot and humble. Oh yeah, the tariffs. So if you're not paying attention, they make no fucking sense. The market cratered because, yeah, if these tariffs were enacted, they would totally crash the economy. The tariffs imposed, amongst other things, nearly 50% tariffs on cheap goods from allies and long-term trading partners like Vietnam. I don't know, I don't have anything funny to say about it. The tariffs would make consumer good prices absolutely skyrocket, and companies straight up told the government this. Apple was like, hey gang, those tariffs are gonna destroy our business model, and then an iPhone's gonna cost $30,000 to $100,000, and no, that's not a typo. No, our zero key didn't get stuck while we were drafting this email. So, stupid tariffs announced, people freak out, market crashes, the tariffs get delayed, which if you're a betting man, you'd assume means that the tariffs are just not gonna happen at all. Predictably, stocks shoot right back up to where they were before the whole debacle. Trump declares victory, art of the deal, your 401k is exactly where you left it, except now there's like 6% less money in it. So why is it then that America's billionaires profited off of this insanity more than like anybody else? Well, of course, you could call it insider trading. How else did these select few, Marjorie Taylor, Jewish space lasers green, know to put huge bets on the market recovering that specific day? From Trump's cryptic ass Truth Social post. Man, fuck Marjorie Taylor Greene for already having 3 names, cause now giving her a derogatory middle name, it just hits so much worse. See, like Hazel woke mind virus libcuck there, that's got a good ring to it. Why don't I think it's insider trading? Well, the thing about insider trading is it's supposed to be for insiders. It's supposed to be secret. It means people using insider information that's not available to the public to make money off the stock market. Is Trump truthing out to the entire world, now's a great time to buy, great time to buy? Now's a great time to buy. Is that insider trading? Only if you consider people with AI-generated anime titty profile pictures to be insiders. How about people with money knowing that Trump was probably going to back down from the tariffs because obviously he would, because what a terrible idea. Is that insider trading? Or could it be having a functioning cerebral cortex and basic pattern recognition skills? But what about that bump just minutes before the delay was announced? To which the insiders go, what, we're not allowed to buy the dip? Clearly you people don't understand the art of the deal.
In the media clearly missed the art of the deal. You clearly failed to see what President Trump is doing here.
No, they said that part. It was really funny. Well, it doesn't matter what I think, because even if Trump had called up his best buddies on the phone and then, you know, and did the thing where he was kicking his feet and twirling the cord thingy, Gen Z moment, I don't know what those are called, and was like, hey guys, I'm gonna crash the market and then bring it back. What do you think? That's not insider trading, because the government is not a private company, contrary to popular opinion. I mean, if anything, it's kind of like a Kmart that got liquidated and then turned into a megachurch. So even if it was an insider job, it's technically not insider trading. So then what is it? Well, the other phrase being thrown around is market manipulation.
Market manipulation.
Stock manipulation.
Is this market manipulation?
Which, for sure, definitely that. But it could also happen completely independently of Trump's awful decisions. The richest 10% own 90% of the stocks, and they can kind of manipulate the market a lot. They can afford to make these big bets that the market is going to crash, that the market is going to recover. The army of money managers that work for Jeff Bezos or whatever, they probably knew to short the market before the tariff announcements because, duh. They probably knew to buy the dip because, duh, he's gonna back off. I mean, I did that, and I'm kind of a dumbass. Like, I bought GameStop at its peak. Like a lot of it too. But I did that because I had the means to, and I have a decent savings account, and I'm like kind of privileged. You know who can't do that? Joe Pension, who does the right thing and he leaves his money in a diversified portfolio and then never touches it. And the only effect he felt from all of this is that he's like now 6% poorer. And with the half of Americans who can't even cover a $400 emergency, they're not gonna buy the dip because some ape on YouTube told them to. And you know, I mean, sometimes following those guys, it doesn't always work out. R.I.P. money maker. It's generally the absolute richest motherfuckers who can afford to bet big on shorting the market when Trump does something stupid, and then they can buy the dip, and then they can bet big again when he telegraphs that he's probably gonna pause tariffs. It's such a well-known cycle, there's literally a meme about it. Like, you don't need to be a brain genius to figure this one out. And that's why America's billionaires made out looking so good from this crisis. And not just the billionaires, but the hedge funds, the Republican Congress people, shocker. Bloomberg reported that Wednesday was the best day ever for billionaires as the world's wealthiest people raked in $304 billion. The 10 richest billionaires alone made $135 billion on the stock market recovery. Trump literally brought 2 billionaires into the Oval Office and was like, look at this guy, he made $2.5 million today. And look at this guy, he made $300 million today. That's not bad. That was Charles Schwab and Roger Penske. Anyway, hedge funds made $159 billion in 6 days by predicting the market crash and the recovery. But here's the thing. The market still hasn't fully recovered. The 1%'s net worth, along with everyone else, is still lower than it was pre-tariff, but like the middle and lower classes are doing a lot worse, and a lot of that money got sucked up into the 1%'s net worth. All Americans are a little worse off, but the billionaires are a little less worse off than everyone else. So, is it market manipulation? We'll just ask this guy.
Is this market manipulation?
No,
Why not?
it's not market manipulation, sir.
Well, shit, that settles it. My bad, dog. Okay, even the billionaires lost out on money. This was still a bad thing, even if the rich lost less than everyone else and gained more than everyone else when the stock market recovered. It's like, why? Like, why? Well, to figure out what's going on, you need to look at it on a bigger scale than just a week, which is hard when you're living in the crazy 24-hour news cycle, and you're probably just gonna forget about this when he passes a law abolishing litter boxes in schools or something. A lot of people have said that Trump is trying to crash the market on purpose, including Trump when he retweeted this video.
Trump is crashing the stock market by 20% this month, but he's doing it on purpose.
But why? Now, I'm gonna sound very tinfoil hat, Joe Rogan conspiracy theorist, just asking questions, but remember, I'm vaccinated, and it only gave me a little bit of autism. But I'd guess it has something to do with the fact that the last few market crashes were basically just siphons of money from the 99% to the rich. Like the 2008 recession, that's when people started saying the 99% like in the first place. Because the 1% made off with so much of the money. From 2007 to 2010, the bottom 80% saw a 40% decline in their net worth, but the top 20% only lost about 14% of their money. You can guess what happened when the market recovered. Too big to fail, socialized losses, privatized gains. You know about this. And this was sort of the beginning of the end for the middle class. Or the middle of the end if you, like, were paying attention at all. And this just turned into more fuel for the rich to reinvent serfdom and more middle-class people having to do Uber and OnlyFans to pay rent on their single-family houses. Fast forward to 2020, same shit happened. The top 1% siphoned $50 trillion with a T dollars from the rest of Americans. And between 2020 and 2023-ish, they wound up capturing twice as much of the new money created as everyone else. So that means that for every $3 worth of value created in the market, 2 of those dollars went to Jeff fucking Bezos. And this happened under the watch of Trump and Biden. So what's going on? Well, if you're chronically online enough to have continued watching this even after I said libcuck like 3 times, you've probably heard of the term disaster capitalism. It usually refers to natural disasters like floods or earthquakes. Regular people have to struggle to stay afloat, sometimes literally. And then people with means try to figure out how they can profit off the collapse and the rebuilding, maybe by privatizing public services, maybe skimming a little off the top from the recovery. They keep pumping so much CO2 into the atmosphere, but those natural disasters ain't coming fast enough, so they gotta make them. So is Trump trying to crash the economy, or is he just very incompetent? Well, either way, it sure is convenient for the rich people that he tanked the stock market and then brought it back a week later. 2008, 2020, and now 2025. Billions to trillions added to the net worth of the richest. And let's not forget that the 10% baseline tariffs are still there. And tariffs are a regressive tax, basically the opposite of a progressive tax, meaning the less money you have, the more money you pay in taxes. One cost shows that if all of the tariffs had gone through, it would cost middle-class families an average of $58,000. And also, this has happened since I filmed the video. There are now all of these exemptions for big companies like Apple and automakers and computers and stuff. And you know who's not getting those exemptions? Hello. Are normal people. It's just the billionaire-owned corporations. Right, Blue? Mwah. And these tariffs weren't just made to return manufacturing jobs to the middle-aged white American dudes with, like, email jobs who are obviously chomping on the bit to screw bolts onto car tires for the rest of their lives. Do car tires have bolts? Unclear. It's expressly to help fund the government to make up for the revenue that's going to be lost when taxes are cut on the rich. Once again, a tax on the poor to replace a tax on the rich. At this point, it's not even a wealth pump like they say. It's a damn slip and slide. Zoom out more, Doge is cutting funding for national parks and education and Medicare, but not for SpaceX or fighter jets or oil subsidies. This isn't insider trading, it's remaking the entire economy into one where Uber driving serfs need to pay tribute to their vassal lords via taxes and tariffs. And I can already see you in the comments. Hey, you bleeding heart liberal dipshit, your own guys also do insider trading. To which I say, for sure, yeah, they sure fucking do, buddy. And it's atrocious that the only people pulling for banning Congress people from trading stocks are the leftiest of the Democrats. You'd think with all of their shrieking about corruption and the death of democracy or whatever, this would be a pretty good party line. But no, it's just the nerds out here. So this is a pretty good time to reflect on the fact that the Democrats lost because they're kind of just a more polite, less destructive version of the same thing. Democrats will bomb fewer kids. Democrats will do insider trading, but at least we'll have the decency to lie about it. If these guys ever want to stand a chance again, they need as radical a policy proposal as what Trump is currently doing, but like for good. And once again, the only people even getting close to that are these nerds, and they're only allowed to talk about it on Twitch because, you know, CNBC won't have them anymore. That's it! And they're pretty milquetoast about it in their platforms compared to intentionally crashing the economy to make people richer. At this point, the Democrats' platform should be putting all the people responsible for this in fucking jail. And that's not because I think they should do that. That's because that's the only thing that's going to reach people in times like these, not wonky policy proposals about tax incentives for solar panels or whatever. This is an opportunity for our team, not that I claim them, but you know what I mean, for the anti-Trump gang to point out, not insider trading, but to point out the fact that literally every single thing that the Trump government has done so far has involved making shit more expensive for normal people and making things more profitable for the rich fuckers.
I wanted to thank Claro for allowing me to get up here. We have an economy today that is working very well for the billionaire class, but not for working families.
Except for Bernie and Claro, I guess. Like and subscribe. See you next Wednesday.
It's definitely going on my blue sky. Hell yeah.